You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, how's it going? This is your main man, Scott McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop Podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about a concept that's very hard for a lot of guys to wrap their heads around, but it's very, very true. It's not a particularly original concept. It's just something that I don't think a lot of dating coaches, relationship experts like to talk about because it's an uncomfortable truth. But it's true enough that I was actually texting the concept to someone just this morning, and my iPhone auto-completed the phrase. That phrase is this: whoever wants the relationship least is in control. And indeed, my iPhone brought up the word control as an autocomplete for that sentence when I was texting it to someone just this morning. There's truth in that statement. And I'll tell you this, it isn't only limited to relationships between men and women. It applies to just about every part of our life, where there's some sort of partnership or, dare I say, even a negotiation. Like, for example, let's say you go to a car dealership and you see a pickup truck and you want that truck. It's got to be that truck with those options. It's got to be that VIN number or bust. Well, the dealership has you by the short hairs because they know you want that truck and you're going to pay their price. When it comes to buying cars or buying anything else, really, your ability to get up and walk away keeps you in the driver's seat. Literally with the car, you're going to get it for less money because the dealership will have to do your bidding to sell that car instead of vice versa. If you could walk away from that particular pickup truck at that dealership and go find another one at another dealership, or better yet, even negotiate for that particular vehicle with another dealership, yes, you guys can do that. That's a thing. Then you are in control. So let's go back to relationships between men and women. What tends to happen is, first of all, we as men think that, okay, we've been told that masculinity is toxic and that women can do no wrong, believe all women, yada, yada, yada. So if there's something going on in this relationship, it's got to be my fault and I've got to fix myself, especially if that's what she's demanding of me, or else she's going to walk. Or alternative scenario, we could actually stack these scenarios, frankly, in a lot of cases. But like I said, an alternate scenario is she is so hot, she's the sexiest woman you've ever been able to get with. And if she up and leaves, finds a different guy or whatever, you're not going to only have to start all over again. It'll probably be with someone who isn't quite as good. So you beg, borrow, and steal, perhaps literally, to stay with her. Meanwhile, she knows you want this more than she does. And what's the end result? She ends up losing attraction because she's in the driver's seat and she's basically leading you around by a nose ring. All right, guys, well, here's the deal. We're left kind of saying to ourselves, well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, if I don't want to be in this relationship with a woman, isn't she going to go, well, you know what? Fine, I'm going to find a guy who wants me. Well, yes, indeed. The trick here, as always, is balance. Yes, you want to choose a woman you like, but instead of feeling like she gets to own you or you get to own her, and the whole idea of relational ownership is probably a fantastic topic for a future snippet from the summit, by the way. The truth of the matter is the two of you should choose each other. You should be in the relationship because you like each other and you want to be there. And as soon as someone has this leverage where, you know what, maybe they could walk away, they're not so happy, maybe they could do better, well, then they're the one calling the shots. The irony there, the catch-22, if you will, gentlemen, is, if a woman is owning you and calling the shots, you're not standing up to her. And if you can't stand up to her, you can't stand up for her, the next thing you know, it isn't only a psychological power play. It becomes a primal issue of her just not feeling attraction because, she's starting to feel like she has to take care of your poor widow feelings and babysit you, and she's more your mommy than your lover. And as we've already chronicled over and over in this particular podcast, that's the kiss of death in a relationship. So again, what do you do? Well, the first thing to remember is indeed, just because you're in a relationship with a female human being doesn't mean she's your property or vice versa. When my wife and I got together and it looked like we were headed towards a relationship, I said to her point blank, it kind of surprised her, but I think she appreciated it. If you ever feel like you want a different guy, if you want some strange, don't sneak around on me. Don't cheat on me. Just come talk to me. We'll figure it out. But I don't think we should have secrets. She goes, well, I'm never going to want another guy. I said, well, at least you know that's where I stand when it comes to us being honest with each other, because I don't feel like I own you. And of course, she had a few questions in the opposite direction for me, and we cleared the air on that. And guess what? It's going on 19 years now, and neither one of us have wanted some strange. We don't feel like we own each other. You know, I've joked in the past that relationships are kind of rentals instead of ownerships. And to some degree, that's true anyway. You know, along the same lines, I've had guys say to me, you know, everybody I've ever been with leaves me. Well, that is going to be true regardless, even if it's because of death. But no, everybody we're in a relationship with, every woman who's in a relationship with us, it should be because of free will, because we want to be there, and everybody's free to go. But the reason we don't leave each other, the reason we do stay together for a longer period instead of a shorter period, is because we trust each other. We want to be there with each other. No one wants the relationship more than the other. As a matter of fact, when this is done right, it doesn't even come up as an issue. We're not there by obligation. We're there by choice. And that concept of choosing each other is what obviates the need for any discussion about who's got the upper hand in a relationship, and all those power plays tend to disappear from there. Yeah, it could get a little more complicated than what I'm laying out here, but for now, given the context of a short snippet from the summit like this, those are the basics. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scott at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.